Welcome to the Music Nut Program. I'm John. Thank you so much for joining me today. And welcome back to the latest edition of Artist Spotlights. Premise of this series is to talk about bands that I have discovered in clubs, small theaters, or larger venues when they were opening for another band. This band, like the first band I talked about, By Water Call, I found at the Mock Junk Opera House in Jimthorpe, Pennsylvania, which, along with Penn's Peak, which is also in Jimthorpe, are by far my two favorite indoor venues to see a live show. The band I'm going to talk about today, you probably saw the poster behind me when I was doing my Thin Lizzy series. It is none other than Kilmaine Saints. Now, Kilmaine Saints are based out of central Pennsylvania. They have members who are from Lancaster and members from Harrisburg. How do they sound? Think the Pogues, think Dropkick Murphys, think Flogging Molly. You'll have a good idea of what their sound is like. They have 7 albums. They have 4 LPs, 2 EPs, and 1 live album. While all the albums are very good, you want to see them live. But they usually stay on the eastern part of the United States. They tour right around St. Patrick's Day, February and March of the respective year. They have played as far west in the United States as California. They have played some festivals, and they do play occasional shows outside of February and March of the respective year. Now, here are the albums I will discuss briefly today. This is their debut album, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Their second album, Drunken Redemption. Their first EP, Untraditional. Their live album, and what a juggernaut this is, Live at the Abbey. Their next album, Whiskey Blues and Faded Tattoos. And their latest album, this came out in 2023, Same Again Tomorrow. Who are the Kilmaine Saints? Today's lineup is Brendan Power on vocals, John Heller on bass, bagpipes, and accordion, Bill Brown on bagpipes, whistle, and bass. They are the 3 members who've been with them since the beginning. Current members also include Rich Lipsky on banjo, mandolin, bass, and piano, Gary Uris on fiddle and bodhrán, Eric Arntz on guitars, and John Kramer on drums. John Kramer is the latest member of the band. He's been with them for the last 6 months. So this band, when you go to see them live, will destroy you. They play usually 2 1-hour sets with a brief intermission in between, 15 minutes, not these 30, 45-minute intermissions. And they destroy live. They are very passionate. They are fantastic musicians. Brendan is an amazing, charismatic frontman. Their songs are divided between more reflective, mid-tempo songs based in the Irish tradition, wonderful instrumentals with a lot of Irish flavor. Think of some of those great instrumentals on those Van Morrison albums. And hard-charging punk songs with fantastic choruses. They're just driving and played with so much enthusiasm and vigor. First album is The Good, the Plaid, and the Ugly. Now, on this album, they did cover Amazing Grace to start the album with the bagpipes before they go into The Saints Are Up. The Saints Are Up is their theme song because they say we are the Kilmaine Saints. And they played this at every show I've ever seen. They also do a cover, Whiskey in the Jar, which is a traditional Irish song from the 1920s, later covered by Thin Lizzy, and it was a huge hit in England. More recently was covered by Metallica, and it introduced that song to a whole new generation in the United States and beyond. But this is more in the traditional, the more of the Irish tradition, like similar to Thin Lizzy, but a lot more traditional Irish instruments. Other great songs on here. Golden Guns is excellent. Painting Paradise Square. Pogmoy Thoing or Pogmoy Thoing is an excellent track. Farewell Self Esteem, Wearing of the Green. This was a superb debut album. A lot of fans might say this is their best. They do hit this album pretty hard live. It is very, very good. Second album is Drunken Redemption. To me, this might be my favorite, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that this is probably the best recorded of all of them because it has a very warm production. You really hear the space between the instruments. It's also recorded a little louder than the other albums, but when I say louder, it's not to the point where it's bothersome. You got to turn your volume down your stereo compared to the rest of the albums. Tracks that really stand out on here, and a lot of these they play live, like Holloway Joe, which has a wonderful call and response. Swallowtail Jig is excellent. The Whiskey's Calling, they always play. That is a fantastic chorus in it. Black and Blue Jig is wonderful. 57 is a great song in the Irish tradition, as is Go On Home British Soldiers. Devil's Den, Painting Paradise Square, Part 2. Part 1 is on the first album. Is another one that they do live a lot. Brave Yankee Boys is very good. All for One's very good. For my money, my favorite, but they're all very good. I'm not going to say there's knockout albums here. I'm not going to say that these are on the level of the best albums by like a Thin Lizzy or a U2 or a Van Morrison. I'm just talking about great bands or artists that came out of Ireland. But they're all very solid. They're all similar in scope. And they're all a good time, but there's some downtime, some more reflective songs, great stories in them. Untraditional was an EP. This is only about 17 minutes long, but you got some of their best songs on here, like Scotland the Brave is it it's a wonderful instrumental. It's one of the traditional bagpipe instrumentals that you hear. Come Out Ye Black and Tans, they play live. Drunken Sailor is very riveting and driving, very memorable chorus, very simple but memorable chorus. Finnegan's Wake is awesome. Man You Don't Meet Every Day is awesome. 7 songs, 17 minutes. Very, very good though. And this is the latest album that I own by them. I just bought this past Saturday. It's the only one I needed to have them all. Now, Live at the Abbey was the first album I bought by Kilmaine Saints. This is no longer available as a disc, but you can go on Bandcamp and you can download the album for $10. In fact, you can download the whole catalog, I believe, for $45, $50, maybe, somewhere along that line. This is a kick-ass live album. This would be the one that I would recommend if it was still available as a hard copy, but download it if you want. I mean, it's excellent. Amazing Grace goes into Will the Circle Be Unbroken. It's a very timeless song. It's been covered by many artists. They bring more joy and enthusiasm to this song, though, than any band I've ever heard. They usually do this live. Here they open the set with it. Usually, this is one of their closing songs. So many great songs on here. I'm going to talk about ones that I haven't discussed yet. Streams of Whiskey is wonderful. Long Walk to Sanaa is awesome. I'm a Man You Don't Meet Every Day. I did talk about that. Saints Are Up is excellent. Battle Cry is excellent. 10 Fathoms Deep, Old Brown's Daughter. A lot of songs I already talked about are on this live album. And at the end is Rakes of Mallow, and they go into Jump Around. And their version of Jump Around is killer. Excellent song. They cover a few songs live here and there, but it's mostly originals when you go to see them live. But when they do a cover, they make it their own and they do it in a much rousing, riveting version, a lot more spirited version. Their version of Jump Around kills. And their version of Will the Circle Be Unbroken kills too. But this is a fantastic live album. And if you can get your hands on this used, I suggest you do so. Or, buy the download from Bandcamp. Next, we have Whiskey Blues and Faded Tattoos. Now, this is a little bit longer, but great, great songs on here. The title song is very memorable, more mid-tempo. Very good. Pennsylvania's Finest is awesome. Memories Fade Away is excellent. The last three songs, I think, are the best songs, maybe the best songs on the album. Raise My Glass is a great anthem, as is Last Call, which ends the album. But the song in the middle, Ride Like Hell, is heavy as hell. And it's very fast. It's as punk as they have a punk sound to them, but this is straight up punk. And the playing on this is amazing. It's like evil. It is so, so good and driving and relentless. Long Shot Nag is excellent. Second and Lotus, Innocent Hand. Very good album, just as all these albums are. Whiskey Blues and Faded Tattoos, and also very well recorded. All the albums are well recorded, but my favorite recording is Drunken Redemption. This is the latest album. Same Again Tomorrow from 2023. This might be their most diverse album, and I think this is more towards rock than punk. We have great instrumentals that bookend this album in Fanfare and The Blood of Kilmaine. A lot of great songs are on the second half, but they do a wonderful version of House of the Rising Sun, originally written by Bob Dylan, and the Animals made it famous. It's cool to hear bagpipes and House of the Rising Sun, but it really works. And it's at first it's a little different, but you're like, they fit in perfectly. Excellent version of House of the Rising Sun. But some of my favorites, McGowan's Wake is excellent. The Plight is a great working man's anthem. Nomad is awesome. State I'm In is a piano ballad where the rest of the instruments come in, adding a lot of color, a lot of focus on Brendan's vocal performance on here, which is outstanding. Undivided is very good. Siaban is very good. Title song, very good album. Everything they've done is, I give them all like eights. And Live at the Abbey, I'd probably give a 9.5 or a 10. But this is their latest release. All these albums were recorded in central Pennsylvania. They might have been mixed outside of the area, but they all have a good sound to them. They don't suffer from loudness wars or anything. But again, as I mentioned, Drunken Redemption probably is the best recorded. So, what do you think of Kilmaine Saints? Have you heard them? Are you intrigued? If you are, check out their YouTube page, their Facebook page. If you go to their website and you join their mailing list, they will send you a free copy of their first disc. You only have to pay for the shipping and handling. The shipping and handling $6.99. But you will get this if you join their mailing list. Their YouTube page has all the albums. You can listen to all of them there. There are videos on their YouTube page. And you have live performances on there as well. I will put a link in the description to Kilmaine Saints YouTube page, as well as their website where you can catch their upcoming gigs. They do have a few gigs coming up This week, I'm recording this on March 10, 2025. I know they're playing XL Live in Harrisburg on March 15. That's a wonderful venue to see a show. Nick Esquire, the incomparable Nick Esquire, and I saw KMFDM there twice in 2024 with the fantastic Andy Blacksugar from KMFDM and Blondie, and you may also know him from the Contrarians. So, have you heard this band and what do you think of them? I highly recommend them seeing them live. Have you seen them live? And if you did, what do you think of their live performance? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to do a lot of these kind of shows because this is the music that I listen more to these days. I believe that the independent artists and musicians are the lifeblood of the music industry, and I'm not a tribute band guy. I want to see original music until I die. It's the way it goes. So, till I see you again, cheers and do what you love, and I'll talk to you soon.